What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another trade recap. Today is Thursday, August the 20th. Did not end up taking any trades today. I'm going to get right into it. Price action today was not great. I was able to predict that pretty quickly based off of a few different conditions that I'm going to get into right now. So first of all, we dumped almost 500 points overnight. So my draw on liquidity today was basically just this unfilled 1 hour fair value gap because we already took this very obvious low sell side. Now it looks like it's perfectly equal lows, but if you zoom in, you can see that we did end up sweeping this just barely right here. So wasn't going to target this. This is now a very high resistant low, and we have a very obvious 1 hour fair value gap that we can target. This was setting up to be a very, very nice continuation setup. The problem is it ended up playing out right at market open. That's when it hit this draw on liquidity. You could see we had this very obvious 15-minute gap that we tapped into, and this would have been the pre-market setup right here. So stop below this low and entering off of this displacement right here. We had relative equal highs and this unfilled hourly gap. Very nice draw on liquidity, respecting this bullish 15-minute gap still. But I don't take any trades pre-market. This was at 9:24. Despite the draw on liquidity being very obvious, there's just too much volatility, and sometimes we remanipulate and then end up delivering. Price ended up pushing up. You could see we edged it. This is so common when you take trades pre-market. It won't completely deliver to the draw and it'll come down. Price did end up delivering just after this. You could see this trade played out. Now, if we did remanipulate this low into this 15-minute gap at market open and then we got displacement like this, then I would have entered targeting this buy side draw on liquidity because it's still intact. We're still respecting this 15-minute gap, and that's my textbook setup, right? But we ended up delivering right at open, which is what I was expecting because the setup was already playing out. Now, this is one way you could have avoided taking any sort of loss today if you trade continuations. So we had this very obvious hourly gap as our draw on liquidity, right? There's nothing sell side that we want to target. We already swept that low. Price is clearly rebalancing this range right here. And we don't have any buy side targets for another almost 200 points, right? I told myself once we tap into this hourly gap, if we don't get a setup towards it, then I'm going to be done for the day because there's just nothing we can target, right? Like even if we did get a continuation setup down here, it's just not something I would want to take because we're still too far away from this draw on liquidity for me to be confident that this was going to play out. Now, if we pumped all the way up to here and maybe got a retrace into some 5-minute and then we got displacement out, then we can look to target this buy side draw on liquidity. But because we're still so far away and we really don't know what price is going to do at this point, my model, I want to be 100% confident that that draw on liquidity is going to be hit, and I just can't be confident in it when we're still right here and we're inside a bearish 1 hour fair value gap, right? Again, if we started to push higher, then I would have been looking for something potentially. But because we tapped into this hourly gap, I don't take any reversals. I know a lot of people took this 1 minute IFEG right here as like a reversal trade. Again, to me, this just doesn't really make a lot of sense because we don't really have any higher time frame draws to target. Like, yes, we might have some low resistance lows here, but you have low resistance at your stop loss as well. In my opinion, there's just no reason for price to continue any lower because there's no sell side draws on liquidity. Yes, we're in a bearish 1 hour fair value gap, but that doesn't instantly mean we're going to reverse here and push to the downside. We need a reason to do that. We need narrative, right? And again, I only take continuations. So I'm not trying to catch the top or the bottom of the market. I'm just waiting to catch some sort of continuation trade towards an obvious draw on liquidity. Now, some people did take this 30-second right here as a continuation trade. I didn't really like it, again, because we're inside that bearish 1 hour gap, still far enough from this draw on liquidity that I'm not super confident in it. And when you have a very, very obvious 1 minute gap like this, that gets inversed with such a strong displacement candle, this is not really the type of flip that I want to take because we're not delivering out of any fair value gap here. Price ended up continuing to sell off, and then we literally just ranged for the rest of the day. In my opinion, this was a very easy day to avoid any sort of loss. If you're trading continuations, like this is the complete opposite of what you want to be trading, right? We're not delivering to any draw on liquidity because there just isn't really one nearby that we could be targeting, right? Make sure all your trades are aligned with a higher time frame narrative and your win rate is going to skyrocket. It just makes it so much easier to avoid conditions like this because you can see it ahead of time. So guys, this is a very quick recap today because I didn't take any trades, but hopefully you learned something by seeing how I approach the market when we're in conditions like this. If you guys want to join my free Discord, the link is in the description below as always. But with that being said, we will see you guys in the next video.